Welcome, everybody, to the Top Back Podcast. We are your hosts, Mike,
Matt,
and today we got a special episode. We are going to preview the NBA season 2020 to 2021. We got lots to talk about. We're not going to do a dissect of all the wins and losses for each team. We're just going to talk about the main headlines going into this season. Before we start that, I think we should talk about a little bit last season.
Yep.
How crazy 2020 has been for all of us, and the NBA really was at the forefront of like everything going on and all decisions that were made in sports and pretty much everywhere that had an event. Okay, so beginning of this year, or midway through last year, in January, during the season, I think it's important to note that the great late Kobe Bean Bryant passed away.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to Kobe, and that kind of put a halt to the NBA season.
Right. Well, it didn't put a halt, but it definitely impacted the NBA emotionally.
Yeah,
for sure. Everyone, their morale was down. Mm-hmm. Everyone didn't feel like playing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely impacted the way the Lakers were going to play.
True.
I think it played a big part to them winning that season for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, R.I.P. Black Mamba will be missed. They even they changed the All-Star game for him too.
Yeah, so I remember we talked about it. I was like, man, the format looked kind of weird and stupid, but
it turned out to be the best thing we've seen.
Yeah,
in the All-Star game, like since we've been born, probably.
True.
Yeah,
and I got my NBA All-Star game hat from 2000, and that was the most competitive we've seen.
It was nice. It was
real
nice.
Yeah. And then after the All-Star game, we were getting ready for the playoffs, and all the seedings were like going. LeBron was on a roll, Lakers on a roll, Clippers were coming to form, and then the pandemic hit. NBA was the first league to really make that decision, like, all right, we're stopping games, we're stopping the season.
Yep. And
everybody like followed them. So like props to Adam Silver making that decision. And then we had a couple months before season came back on.
Right. Because a lot of the players didn't even want to play. They were unsure how the bubble would work, if people were still going to get sick.
Yep.
And, I get it. If I was a player, I wouldn't feel very comfortable playing. But also, a lot of these players wanted to get paid still.
True.
So it was kind of a half and half situation. And then people didn't want to watch the games because they thought without the crowds, it would feel a little different.
Yeah.
I was actually one of them too.
Yeah.
So when we watched those games, it took a while for me to adjust because without the crowd, it's definitely a different feeling. It's like watching exhibition matches all the time.
Yeah. It's like an AAU tournament or scrimmage going on.
Yeah, but the players actually stepped up because when you don't have... Sorry, that was my cat. When you don't have the crowd, especially if you're away, you're playing away games, you don't have the distraction, so you're honed in and focused when you're playing those games. So a lot of them actually probably would have played worse if there were crowds. We saw a lot of good performances during that playoff.
Yeah,
like a lot of individual
players going off
like 40 points, triple doubles, like amazing stuff. But honestly, I wouldn't want that again.
True.
I would still want the crowd participation for sure.
And that's the big debate going into this season. But like Matt said, with the NBA bubble, it was a different feeling. They started back in July, 22 teams. They were trying to figure out the seedings. Big things that happened, like Devin Booker was going off 8-0, but still didn't make the playoffs. Dame was hot. Dame was killing it. I think he got burned out by the time playoffs started. Like a lot of teams that were disappointments, like my Sacramento Kings were disappointments. I think New Orleans was a disappointment too.
For sure.
They have an up and rising team, but teams like Denver, like you said, I felt really benefited from it because they were a young team.
Yep.
But they didn't have to go on the road. They were just like, all right, we don't have nothing to lose. Let's just go out there. They came back 3-1 in the first round, the second round. They had a decent shot against Lakers, but Lakers were just on fire. Miami Heat was just killing it.
Bro, that was the biggest surprise I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I knew they were having a good regular season, but when it came to the championships or the finals, I was like, wow. Yeah, this is amazing. They're just missing a couple of pieces for sure, but the way they played, and specifically Butler,
they
have a great shot next year too.
That's hard, man. Like Jimmy Butler too.
Hold on, keep talking.
Matt, while I'm talking, Matt's helping out his cats that are making a little mess right now. But so Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat, right when the bubble started, like security was called up to Jimmy's room because he was making hella noise, but Jimmy was actually working out.
Oh, really?
In his hotel room, like
yeah.
I'm a big Jimmy Buckets fan since Chicago. I wish he never left. But I think Miami was the perfect spot for him for the culture.
He showed heart. He
showed heart.
He proved that he kind of needs to be the it guy.
Yeah.
Because when he was with the Sixers,
yeah,
that was not a good chemistry. Chemistry wise, it was terrible. Because
yeah.
Jimmy can't rely on being like the third option or second option.
Yeah.
He needs to be the star player.
That's true.
Which is kind of a bad thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as he plays the leader role,
yeah,
I think he's fine. He just needs a lot of pieces to surround him.
That's very true. And to your point, like Jimmy, although he might not put up the big numbers, he did in the finals, but like in all the other rounds,
he does the dirty work.
He does the dirty work, and he had a lot of young stars. They have the pieces, but they just need to mature, and it's all about timing and just being healthy. Because they
Tyler Hero, holy shit, dude.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a problem. I was like,
pretty boy.
Yeah, I was not rooting for him because of the fact that he was so young.
Yeah,
his confidence, but he showed out, dude. Like he could shoot.
His confidence level is like fucking amazing.
It reminds me of Korver, but like much more consistent.
Oh yeah, and he can create his own shots.
And he's only what 19, 20?
Yeah, I mean like he's
Jesus
a baby.
Christ.
He can't even drink yet.
Yeah, his defense needs a lot of work though. But
still so young, did a lot. And then of course the eventual champions, the LA Lakers, with the help of AD, and then LeBron leading the way. Finally getting his fourth ring. Also I want to acknowledge that like during the bubble, LeBron and a lot of the stars wanted to stop because of the Jacob Blake shooting.
Right.
And so to acknowledge like the NBA, yes, they're up in the forefront of the pandemic, like, but they're also at the forefront of the social justice. So that's one of the things that came up, and I think will play a big role this season. But back to LeBron, like I think LeBron really took Kobe's passing like probably the hardest out of a lot of people because he idolized Kobe, and like that was like his homie, and like he wanted to continue the Lakers legacy. But with that note, since the Lakers won the championship in the bubble, do you think it should have an asterisk with it?
Yep, for sure. I mean, they won it fair and square based on the parameters they set.
Yeah.
But traditional basketball, it's a lot different when you have a crowd, for sure. Like I said, in the bubble, it's like when you're playing a pickup game and no one's watching, you don't feel any pressure.
Yeah.
So even though they had like the broadcast crowd or whatever, it's like it's a little different.
Yeah.
Like I don't know we can't say how they would have played or how things might have turned out, but in my opinion, there should be a little asterisk with this championship just because like everyone, also the teams coming back have to get back into shape.
Yeah.
So everyone was coming off like a handicap a little bit.
Yeah.
Because some of the players were not keeping up with their regiment. Some of them took a break, and then they had to like train back up in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I mean, everyone has the same issue, but I don't know. It's different. So it's still a championship. Like props to LeBron.
Yeah,
you're still the king. But let's see what you do next year. I want to see what happens.
I agree, but I also lean towards that, not to put an asterisk on it, because what you just said with like everybody came with a handicap, but I think it speaks to LeBron's leadership of like keeping the team on check.
Right, his preparation for the league. He knew it was still going to happen eventually, so he didn't slack off too much.
He didn't slack off. We know that from LeBron, but he made sure his partners, his army, his like being the general, he made sure everyone, his soldiers, like were on top of it.
Right.
So like, and that's a flip to the Clippers, because the Clippers, like Kawhi and PG, got a lot on like a lot of criticism lately because they didn't lead their team.
That's my boy.
They were the favorites, but it's just like LeBron led his team. He made sure they were on point. How come you didn't do that?
Right.
And you guys blew a 3-1 lead. So
right. And you heard about all the stuff that PG is talking, right?
Oh yeah,
like,
and
so many excuses.
Yeah, and that there's a lot of interesting dynamics with that whole relationship. So asterisk or not, it's LeBron's. It's still a championship, fourth ring.
He demands your respect now.
Yeah,
he 3 franchises, 3 different championships with 3 different teams.
Yeah.
He always needed some type of help, though. He proved that already. So
Yeah.
without AD, he definitely wouldn't have won that championship. So
Yeah.
props to AD. I think he definitely deserved that.
And so yeah, that was last season.
Mm-hmm.
Last season in a little quick recap. But leading up to this season, the last season ended in October, and it's already December. Preseason games started like yesterday. As we're recording, and this season, the off season was like really short and like super fast.
Right. Unprecedented for sure.
Unprecedented.
Yeah, 2 months is not a lot of time to recover from all that.
Oh yeah,
all those games, dude. Especially for the teams that did play. So Warriors, like, you guys are good. You guys had. You guys were
playing
time.
a year. But with the season, the NBA draft happened, the free agency happened, but impact of COVID-19 will play a huge role this coming season. Where was I leading? Oh, so the NBA season is going to start December 22nd, and the reason why they wanted to start early is because they don't want it to conflict with the Olympics, which is coming up in the summertime. And instead of 82 games, it'll be 72 games.
Which I think is a much better move. Like,
Yeah.
we've been talking about, like, these players are playing way too many games during the regular season.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, especially when it comes to ranking and seeding, like, sometimes they're just doing the inevitable and playing too many games. So I think cutting it down to 70, 72, that's a lot better.
Yeah. And so the schedule is only halfway released. They're going to have to make adjustments. It's only a matter of time.
Damn, no All-Star? No All-Star
No All-Star game. There's going to be All-Star break. No
Okay.
All-Star game.
What?
Yeah.
No All-Star.
Like, there's going to be a break.
Okay.
Like, they have their usual, like,
Okay.
4 or 5 days off.
Got it.
And there's going to be a play-in tournament, which I've been saying for, like, a couple years now, like, that they should figure out a way to make the 7 to 10 seeds, like, much more competitive.
Yeah.
And that's what they kind of did with the bubble.
Right. How do they usually determine when they have the records are the same?
I guess it's just records against each other.
Yeah, they gotta change that.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Like, we've been watching basketball so many years that, like, I forget, like, the seeding. Sometimes it's by division, sometimes by, like, legit your win record. So
Right. The last time I paid attention to, like, 8 seedings was, like, back in the We Believe era.
Yeah.
It was really competitive.
13
Everyone had,
years
like,
ago.
40 wins and shit like that.
Shout out to the We Believe team.
Yeah. So it's been a while, so I haven't really paid attention. So that's a good idea, though, if they should.
Yep. Quick things on, like, the things that happened over the off season. NBA draft. This draft didn't have that many big stars. I mean, like, it's only natural, like, the cycle of drafts. This one, it was just more like okay players, and they didn't have a March Madness. What do you think of LaMelo Ball and the Ball family coming out?
Man, I have a lot of. I'm gonna sound like a hater in this podcast, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So LaMelo Ball, the phenom of this generation, the most overhyped player I've ever seen, like, since Lonzo came, which is not too long ago.
Yeah.
So the Ball family, like, I already hate the fact that LeVar got his wish. Like, all his sons are in the NBA now in some capacity. LaMelo going to Charlotte, though, that was kind of a surprise.
Yeah. MJ's like this, like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like,
fuck up LeVar.
obviously LaMelo has a lot of talent, but in this league, I don't know how he's gonna play the first couple of games. Like, the first 10 games it might be a shock to him, because when I see him play overseas or whatever league he was playing, like, the defense wasn't that great. So obviously he could show out a lot better. But when you have, like, veterans going against him now, people with experience, I'm curious to see how he's gonna adjust.
Yeah.
He can shoot, he can drive, but I don't know how strong he is yet. So we'll see.
I think he's still rounding up into form physically, but I think mainly is, like,
he's better than his brothers for sure.
Oh yeah. I think can you have that killer instinct when games actually matter?
Yeah.
Are you gonna get lazy and just kind of put your head down when being in Charlotte and not having a great team? Can you lead this team?
Right.
Or are you just, like, going with the flow, trying to get your numbers?
Yeah, because his projection right now is, like, almost Kobe, LeBron level when he's entering the NBA. Like, all eyes are going to be on him.
Yeah,
like, Lonzo had that too when he came in, but I think LaMelo's going to have a lot.
That's LeVar's doing.
Yeah.
Stoking the fires and comparing his oldest son to Steph before coming into the league.
Because what's his position? Point guard?
Like, shooting point guard. He has passing abilities. He's 6'8". But I think LaMelo's, like, hate it or love it, like, social media, his branding is gonna bring Charlotte to
the forefront.
To a forefront, and you're gonna watch his games. And I don't know if that's Mike's doing. Mike has a horrible track record as a GM. We covered that so much in the Last Dance reviews.
Yeah.
Go check that out. But it remains to be seen. I think that's the most interesting prospect.
Yeah, he's gonna start, obviously, too, right?
He's gonna start.
Yeah. In my opinion, if he can score at least 17, 18 points per game and like 6 assists, that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
for a rookie.
And probably the only other pick we care about, being from the Bay Area, is the Warriors. Second pick. Shout out to my old Warriors coworkers. I'm rocking my old F-Lot gear.
Right.
So their number 2 pick was James Wiseman. I think we can talk about the Warriors a little in depth right now.
Okay.
So an hour before the draft, we got the news that Klay got hurt, and it wasn't looking good.
My God, that was heartbreaking.
I was
like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, like someone like Klay, like well respected in the league. Like he don't talk much unless you talk to him.
Yeah.
But like he does his shit. Like he works hard, and like you never want to see anybody get hurt. And
And my friends know this too. I was very critical of Klay when he first came in the league. Like, but he proved himself like every season, and I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
Like he's important to this team no matter what. But that injury, he's not going to play the same anymore. Like I had a little hope when he had it, when he was recovering, but now it's like I don't think he's ever going to play the same.
Yeah,
he might be a 6th man.
Yeah, it's sad because he's a two-way player. He was guarding everybody in the finals. He was next to Iggy. He was like or next to Iggy and Draymond. He was a vocal point on defense, one-on-one. So that kind of, I don't know if that messed with the Warriors draft, but I had a feeling they wanted to draft James Wiseman just because like they need height. They need athleticism. We didn't see too many games with him in college, but like someone that's 7'1" and who has like kind of like a nice mid-range jumper, working on his 3-pointer. You need athleticism as your stars are getting older, and hopefully he stays available. The key, like the best ability is staying like available, and so if Wiseman can just like be an anchor on that defense, something they needed the last few seasons of like young and guarding like so many people in the West,
in the post too,
like AD. Who's gonna guard AD? Who's gonna guard like whoever center they have?
You need that.
Jokic in Denver. So just, I know it'll take time for him to develop, but like I think someone like Steph, this is his time to shine and really prove to all the haters that like I'm still like MVP caliber.
Yeah.
Y'all gave me a year to rest.
I mean, he proved that. Did you watch his comeback game? When he was like back in, what was that, March?
Earlier this year?
Yeah, earlier, when he came back for one game.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he was really rusty, but he showed like the impact he had on the team. Like not only the crowd obviously came back, but the way he facilitates, the way he controls the tempo of the game.
Yeah.
Like, this is why you need Curry. Like, no matter if you hate him or not, like, he's an important part of the team. He's the leader, no matter what. Yeah. So I have a lot of faith in this team, especially now, since most of the players have more experience. Because that last season was, I've never seen anything like that before.
I mean, you went 5 championship runs. You
had the worst team in the league.
Yeah, it's fine. Like it's a give and take.
Yeah, that's karma. That's the KD karma.
Steph is gonna play a pivotal role this season. Draymond, he's gonna come back hungry.
Yeah, he's gonna be back for sure.
He's gonna care. He's gonna care about playing. Like last season, he was just playing with a lot of puppies.
And I have faith in Wiggins too. Actually,
yeah.
Wiggins. Have you seen him lately? He's bulking up.
Yeah. Is that why I saw like a juiced up Photoshop?
Yeah, he's getting ready.
Yeah.
And then you have fucking
good looking ass Kelly Oubre.
I was like, okay, so I didn't pay attention to him a lot in Phoenix, but I watched highlights since he got drafted.
DC.
Like, okay, this is kind of a good compliment to the team. I don't know if he's probably going to start too, right?
Yeah, he's going to start. He's going to start.
So there's a lot of shooters on this team, but they're not Klay caliber shooters. But the fact that you have so many athletic people on the starting team,
they're gonna run.
They're gonna run the fuck out of it. It's gonna be like Don Nelson back in the day, like running gun team.
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy.
And then that's, I mean, there's not gonna be any crowd, but I think Oubre's like social media presence too,
all the
like
girls,
his swag. Like I watched his All the Smoke podcast. Like dude,
I haven't watched it yet. I was going.
He's like, I know some people might think he's cocky, but I think he just has like a lot of confidence, and just you can't knock him for being himself. Like,
right.
And like he he has so much energy. You never question his motor.
Yeah.
And like he'll dunk on anybody. He's like 24, 25 still. He's
hella young.
He's still young. He's still young. And I think like young players, if you surround them around veterans, they're gonna get better. They're gonna get better.
They're gonna level up twice as fast.
Yeah, and then
with Curry too.
And then maybe Clay next year or whenever he comes back, he'll be that sixth man and work his way back to a starting fold.
Yeah, man.
But
shouts to Clay.
I think Warriors will make playoffs. I think either in the 4 to 6 range.
I'll give them seventh. Yeah,
okay.
Just because the chemistry is not going to be there for the first couple games, so it's going to take them at least 15 games to get into the groove.
Yep.
Because Curry never had to play with it's just Dre.
Yeah.
Like that's his original lineup, and everyone else is brand new. So
yeah, questions on their bench.
Yeah.
Matt spoke a little bit, or he mentioned KD. Big headlines this offseason is really Kyrie. Kyrie and KD coming back. Brooklyn. I got my Brooklyn hat here. I think Brooklyn's favored for the East just because like you have 2 superstars. It remains to be seen like their chemistry with the young players. But you got 2 clutch players. Kyrie actually made a comment that KD's the first player he ever felt like he was playing with someone clutch.
Right.
And then LeBron heard that and he got offended, saying he was hurt by it. So it's kind of like, okay, I kind of want to see Brooklyn and LA in the finals and see them go head to head.
Yeah. So is that favorite for the East, you said?
I think so.
Okay. Here's the variable though. So if KD is healthy, like fully healthy, I agree with you. But just like Clay, I don't know how that injury is going to affect his play style. Like before, like he could do whatever he wants, but he's going to play a little more cautiously this season for sure. So Kyrie's going to pull the weight mostly. They got DeAndre Jordan, right?
They got DJ.
Yeah, that's a good trio.
And coached by Matt's favorite player, Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Kev's going to give Matt some shit for drafting Steve Nash, number 1 pick back in the day.
Steve Nash is going to come back later in this conversation too.
Yeah. But so Kyrie, I actually worked for Kyrie for a bit, and I was rooting for Kyrie a lot early in his career. Dude is something else, man. He was saying that he didn't want to talk to the media.
Because when he does, he sounds stupid.
Yeah, I mean, he was saying like, "Oh, y'all misconstrue my words," or like changed my what I'm trying to say. I'm like, "No, bro, you're the one who fucking said the Earth is flat." Yeah, I was like, "Bro, you're the one who said that," and like, I don't know. Kyrie, like he's a great player. He's in his hometown, but I think he kind of puts too much on himself, like saying that you're gonna do a media blackout. Like you're getting paid a lot. The media, they talk shit a lot, but like, just do your thing and do what you're contract obligated to do.
Right.
He's gonna get fined $25,000 pretty much all the time now.
So when it comes to the East, besides KD, you have the 76ers, you have Miami coming back stronger.
You have East. Yeah. I mean, you have the Celtics.
Yeah.
You have.
Tatum's gonna come back hungry for sure.
Yeah, but Celtics don't have any big man.
Nope.
So I say I think KD. If KD's healthy, he wants to go to the finals, and he's clutch. He's super clutch.
Yeah, they're gonna make playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I think we'll talk later about Giannis later, but I don't think Giannis can guard KD. KD's just the Slim Reaper. He's smooth. He's gonna hit his shots. But Brooklyn also even talked about trading for James Harden.
Yeah.
I think we can segue to there. What did you think about the possibility like a week ago that James Harden wanted to go to Brooklyn?
Well, did you read my post for that IG couple?
I vaguely remember.
What I was saying with James Harden, so obviously they've played before. So KD and Harden played before. We see how that went. Like they go far, but they don't take it home. So now that Harden has leveled up to this top 5 player, playing with KD, it's gonna be it's gonna go lights out shooting everywhere. But chemistry wise, I don't think it's gonna work out as well as people think it will, because you have Kyrie too, they're all alpha males when they play. When you have two, you can have 2 at most, but when you have 3, it's not gonna work well because you need balance, and that's too off balance for one team. You know what I mean? Because when KD went to the Warriors, I would argue that Curry was the only other alpha, so that's why that worked. But when you have 3, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and
there's going to be problems.
And Steph's personality was like selfless.
Right.
James Harden is such
Super ball hog.
such a enigmatic superstar. Like he can put up the numbers. He doesn't perform in the playoffs. Like Houston's given him everything he needed. He's had like CP3. He's had Westbrook, who's traded to Washington now for John Wall. Now he has John Wall, but James Harden is not even in training camp.
Right.
He's been at the strip club with a rapper lately. So like James Harden is. He might go to Philadelphia because his old GM Daryl Morey's there. But there's the idea of like, are you trading for Ben Simmons? How are you gonna make that work? So I don't know. It sucks that James Harden is such a great talent, but
that's the thing with Harden. He has all the talent in the world. Like that motherfucker can do pretty much anything. But the problem with him, to me, is that he does not know how to control a team. He's never been the team leader. He's a leading scorer, but he's not a team leader.
He's that dude at the rec who can get any bucket, but you don't really like.
And you still lose the game.
You still lose the game, and he'll blame everyone.
Exactly.
We can think of like hella people like right now.
Right. Like, James Harden, he just needs to change his mentality as a player now because he's a veteran, and he hasn't even made it to like. Has he made it to the finals yet?
He did with OKC, but as a sixth man.
Yeah. Okay, but as the leading person now, so he has to change his mentality when it comes to playing because he's losing his prime years now. Yeah. He's wasted a lot of it. So
it's there's an irony here with James Harden and like he's interested in going to Miami.
That would be actually pretty good.
Like because James Harden wanted Jimmy Buckets in Houston.
Yeah.
And James Harden also listed Bucks as his other destination he would want to be traded to.
Oh yeah.
And then Giannis and James Harden like go back and forth like talking shit about each other. Have you seen that? Like because they're back-to-back MVPs. So yeah, I don't know where James is gonna end up. Hopefully in a week we see him in uniform because you don't want to see a player like that wasting his time into strip clubs, which he loves to do. But speaking of Giannis, Matt, what do you think about Giannis going into this season?
So Giannis, he won MVP last year, right?
Yeah, back to back.
Okay. Giannis's problem is not really with him. It really is the team. Like he doesn't have a lot of
dogs.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of dogs with him. Giannis has all the talent in the world as far as a post player is concerned. Like he's developing his shots and stuff like that. But when it comes to crucial crunch times, like I feel like he doesn't come out.
Yeah,
like he should, like an MVP should. You know what I mean?
That's why I put KD over him in the East.
Definitely. Giannis, when he lost, what's that? Second round, first round?
Second round.
Second round.
I think so, yeah.
I think that might have sparked something in him where he's like, okay, I gotta think about where I'm gonna go because the Bucks, I'm pretty sure they're giving him anything he wants, but right now he needs a lot of support on that team. Like he needs more shooters, he needs a better point guard.
And yeah, the Bucks actually traded for Drew Holiday.
Yeah, I thought that was a good choice.
I'm a Kings fan, and they tried to trade for Bogdanovich, and then that deal didn't fall through.
Right.
So I think that's like, damn. Management, like you guys suck. Like you got to give this guy some help.
Yeah.
But
he's still pretty young too, right?
He's young. He's like 25, 26. Yeah. He has that Kobe mentality. He wants to work hard. I'm getting conflicting reports I think his mindset is changing a little bit because recently he said that during free agency, if AD or LeBron would have went to Milwaukee, he don't care if he's the first option or second, third option. So and then that's kind of like contrasting what he was saying the last few years. Like he doesn't want to team up with other players.
Right.
I think he's fine with staying with Milwaukee, but if he keeps losing like this, he's gonna be open minded and go to a bigger market.
I think with him it's gonna be finals or go traded.
Yeah,
go somewhere else. Because if he can't get past that second round, that's it for him. He's gonna want to go somewhere else.
So Giannis, where would you want Giannis to go?
Warriors. Yeah, that would have been perfect. Like that's the kind of postman you need.
Sure.
Like when you have Curry in the outside, you have one more shooter, and then you have Giannis in the post. Yeah. That's it. That's everything.
You Warriors fans are so spoiled lately.
Yeah.
I work for the Warriors, but I'm truly a Kings fan.
Yeah.
So, but with that, we talked about the Warriors, and we talked about Harden, Brooklyn.
Okay, so let's talk about one of my top favorite players.
This is what I'm looking for.
Okay, so Kawhi and the Clippers.
PG, Pandemic P,
and Pandemic P.
Okay,
my
here we
God,
go. Here we go.
My biggest disappointment last season, bar none, for sure, because I expected way more from Kawhi and the Clippers, honestly.
Yeah.
So, just a little backstory. We all know what happened to the Clippers. They blew so many leads. They were up 3-1, just like the Warriors.
Yeah.
And then they fell short. And there's a lot of stuff that played into their demise.
Yeah.
You have Doc Rivers possibly not doing a good job coaching.
Oh,
You have PG not showing up. That fucking shot he did at the last game at the side of the backboard.
Yeah, last night Patrick Beverly did the same shit too.
Yeah, he did.
Like, he hit the fucking backboard.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and people were saying like, "Oh, PG and Patrick Beverly were practicing."
Like, come on, dude. You cannot play like. I know he's going through some stuff where he says he is.
Yeah.
But dude, the Clippers, they need to reform.
And he just signed an extension too.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah. So PG was claiming that he was suffering from depression.
Yeah.
He has high anxiety.
I get it because you're in a bubble away from your family.
Yeah. He's complaining that, or I don't know if he was complaining, but Kawhi is getting too much of the attention on the team.
Nah, it was Harrell and them. Like,
okay.
Harrell, Lou Williams, Patrick Beverly, the veterans before Kawhi and PG came. Like, they were upset that Kawhi had, like, cause Kawhi was living in San Diego.
Yeah.
And he would make everybody late on their flights because he was commuting back and forth. And, yeah, like, how do you feel about Kawhi's leadership not being as vocal? And
so Kawhi is also, he's known to be the silent killer of the team. Like, he has all the skills. He's one of the best two-way players, I think.
Yeah.
Probably in a long time, probably since MJ.
Yep.
But as a leader, ever since he won that championship with Toronto, I was expecting a lot more with the Clippers. Like they did pretty well in the regular season, but with Kawhi, he needs to make better decisions. Because when I was watching those playoff games, he was forcing a lot of shots.
Yeah.
He was not facilitating like I thought he would. So even though he's a top 3 player for me, he was a little overrated in that season for sure. So I don't know what he's doing for preparation for this season, but he needs to take charge more.
I think Clippers would have benefited if they had a point guard, a true point guard like Rondo.
Yeah.
But Rondo went to Atlanta.
Yeah. So yeah, Kawhi can't be the main guy handling the ball. Even though he did that in Toronto, like he needs a true point guard so he can just play small forward. He could play the 3, the 2, or whatever.
Just that's why he benefited in Toronto because he just focused on
with Lowry,
and he had a lot of veterans that
Pascal.
were already there. So yeah, Kawhi, I was disappointed in Kawhi. I was super disappointed in Lou Williams when he got to the bubble and he went to the strip club.
Yeah,
he went to, was it Magic City in Atlanta?
Yeah.
So they everyone's calling him Lemon Pepper Lou Williams. And Montrezl Harrell is with the Lakers now, and then Serge Ibaka is with the Clippers now.
Yeah.
So like I like it because that's gonna add like rivalry. I think we need more rivalries like that, like where there's animosity and like betrayal, and I think the NBA really benefits from that.
Yeah, it creates a good narrative. And I like that Ibaka is coming to Clippers, so they have chemistry already with Kawhi.
Mr. Scarf.
Yeah.
Ibaka is funny, bro. If you watch his like cooking, like when he has guests while he's cooking,
he does?
Ibaka is like has a great personality.
I can see that. He seems like a nice dude.
And Ty Lue is gonna be the new coach.
Yes. So Ty Lue, I'm curious how he's gonna coach. Like he has a championship under his belt already, but with a brand new team like this, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. Like if they get like at least like a 10-2 record from the start, that tells me right away.
Yeah. I think they just need to play more together.
Yeah.
Because Kawhi was taking too many breaks.
Yeah.
Too many rests, and that's the criticism with this generation of like time, like load management. But I'm more in favor of like you got to show up. You're getting paid for 82 games, 72 games, like, and there's fans like that come to the arena to watch you play. Right. I know there might not be any fans coming this year, but like you already had a bad ending last year. Like step up, Kawhi. Right. That's all we asking. With your New Balance ass. Right. Fucking shit.
Yeah. Let's talk about that real quick before we go. So Doc Rivers going to Philly. Yeah. How do you think that's going to work?
I think Philly did a better job of surrounding Ben Simmons with more shooters. I can't remember.
Ben Simmons himself needs to to develop more. Like I remember
He
back then.
he needs to attempt the jumper.
Yeah, it's like you gotta develop a shot, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I know you're like the Magic Johnson of this generation, like with your passing ability and
Or
all
LeBron,
that,
yeah.
or LeBron, but you gotta develop some type of offense because you're almost useless at this point.
Yeah.
Like with that height, it's a waste of time.
Would you keep Ben Simmons or would you keep Joel Embiid? Because they're two big guys that are clogging the paint.
Right. So Embiid, here's another problem too.
Yeah.
I think Embiid's a top 5 post player.
Oh, I think he's the best center in the league when he's healthy.
Oh yeah, but post play as far as clutch moments though, sometimes he
Yeah.
you know,
He comes up short.
he comes up short. But him, there's a lot of criticism with his attitude too.
Yeah.
I don't know
He's
if
a
you heard.
fucking troll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he needs to cooperate a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Doc Rivers, I think him as a head coach with so much experience, he has a championship too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll do a good job of coaching them and developing them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as his track record is, going all the way, it's pretty low. So I don't have a lot of expectations. But I think that's not a bad choice for a coach. Because I thought once the Clippers fired him, I thought he was done.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody.
He's
was
gonna be NBA analysis.
Yeah. So I'm glad he got the job.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And so those are pretty much the big headlines coming into this season. We'll talk more about the other teams a little bit later. But I think everyone is thinking that the Lakers are going to repeat this year. My big question for you, Matt, if LeBron wins again this year, repeats, and gets his 5th ring,
Oh, he cemented himself.
do you think that gets him over the hump to be better than Jordan?
Nope.
Nope.
Still not.
Why do you think?
Only because LeBron, he already tainted himself when he went to so many different teams. So the fact that he had to go to so many different franchises and play with other star players, that he can't ever go over MJ.
Yeah.
The only way he would have done that is if he stayed with Cleveland or Miami and just keep winning championships. But the fact that you had to keep going to different teams, you have different Robins. So he had Wade, he had Kyrie, he had AD.
Yeah.
So he never stuck around. I know, I give him. He tried to do it in Cleveland the first time. Like, he gave a lot of his time over there, but he wanted a championship. So, I think MJ himself, if he didn't even win a championship, I still think he would have stayed with Chicago no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that LeBron is he's the ultra alpha male. So whatever he wants, he gets.
Yeah.
So if he wants a championship, he'll do whatever he needs to do. But as a player, he's top 5 all time, top 3 all time. Yeah. But he's never going to be over MJ. Yeah. In that respect. So he can even win 7 championships. I still think he's still below MJ.
It's interesting. Yeah, I think if he wins another one, I think he actually leapfrogs over Kobe for me.
Yeah. I'll give him that, yeah. Yeah,
and then I'll put him solid number 2. Because I think LeBron, King James, props to King James. He's the king of longevity. He's just signed another extension.
Right. He's going to retire at 40 probably.
He's going to retire when his son gets into the league.
Yeah, you're talking about that too. So like he wants... That'll be interesting to see his son play against his dad.
I think
if that could ever happen.
I think the NBA rule of like the age is gonna be lifted, like in Bronny's year, or somehow, some way. So
what's the age limit now?
19. So you have to spend a year away from like high school. That's why some players go overseas.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Or play 1 year, one and done in college. I think LeBron and the Lakers. As much as I'm a Kings fan, a Warriors fan. In the same division, I think Lakers are going to have an easy path to the finals again. They have so many key acquisitions. Dennis Schroeder.
Okay, only if LeBron is healthy.
Yeah, LeBron's going to take a month off when the season starts.
Yeah, you think
he's going to chill.
Okay.
But AD is the step up. AD is the X factor.
Yeah, for sure.
But LeBron is just going to get MVPs just because he's the leader, and leadership is a huge thing. I know AD puts up the numbers but LeBron's leadership is unrivaled.
It's key. Yeah. If Schroeder, that was a good choice too.
Yeah, I'm jealous, man. I'm like, fuck.
Like when they got rid of Rondo, like Schroeder was like go-to for sure.
Yeah, Schroeder.
My dad even called that. He's like, they're gonna pick him up.
Yeah, I'm so fucking pissed. Like Schroeder is nice, man. He's nice. Yeah. Like he's a smooth player. You see the highlight when he was like talking shit, and then I'm gonna do this to you, and bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of time to show out in OKC, but when he was playing for Atlanta, I was like, damn, this guy's talented as fuck.
He's just in a weak ass team.
Yeah, he's really not the he's not the star player, but he's a great role player.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
And they got Marc Gasol coming in. He's older, but IQ means a lot in today's game.
You got another Gasol.
Because Pau Gasol might come back.
Nah,
my dad's favorite player.
I like Pau too, but nah.
Wesley Matthews is on the team now. They got a bunch of shooters. I think the Lakers are gonna have an easy path.
Yeah, at least top 2 seed for sure.
Top 2
just
seed.
in case something happens.
But yeah, those are the major teams that are going into the season.
Yeah.
Do you want to play the one sentence to describe other teams?
Hold on, before we get into that, so let's talk about Phoenix real quick.
Yeah.
So they got Chris Paul.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And,
CP3.
And Devin Booker.
I think CP3 is the king of making a team to a playoffs, but not going all the way.
I was gonna say, I think having CP3, like he might not ever get a ring anymore.
Yeah, sadly.
But the fact that he's gonna play with Devin Booker's gonna learn a lot from him.
Oh yeah,
like he's gonna level up his PG game for sure. When it comes to the West, though, you have Dallas Mavericks, so,
up and coming teams.
Yeah, Luka.
Luka's nice. Fuck, we could have had him as a Kings fan. We could have had him.
Luka, he's gonna step up. I think he did very well that first round, but I think he was out of shape a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though he balled the fuck out. And then you have Denver, which is like the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah.
Because I heard a lot of praise for Joker and Murray, but Murray, holy shit, dude! Like, I'm kind of jealous of his ability because he's very unassuming when I look at him. Like, I don't think you would be that type of player, but
and his girlfriend too.
Oh, really? But that motherfucker can ball. Yeah. Like, I hate him because he's a problem.
So yeah, there's a lot of stars coming up in this league. Matt mentioned Booker, Murray. I think another star who's unfortunately in a smaller market. Donovan Mitchell is someone nice. He was going at it with Murray.
Hella nice. That's the playoff. That's the bubble performance I was talking about.
Yeah,
like, I don't think they would ever do that in a regular like game.
Yeah, the only thing I hate about like this generation, we might be talking like old heads. We're only like 28, but
yeah,
I think it's still too buddy to me. Like they play video games. They're really like kids. But like if a dude drops 50 on me and I see him outside of the bubble, like, dude, I'm gonna take it to heart.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna joke around about it. Like you
would joke around, but you would throw some sly hints like, "I'm gonna get you next time."
Yeah, like but I wouldn't be like, "Oh, look at this dude just dropped 50 on me." I'm like, nah, like go at him, like talk shit, like take it to heart. And I think that's what's missing, like in this generation or this players. Like I want them to go at it, have some like animosity, and because that as fans we enjoy that. Not too buddy because now everything's buddy. Right. We're gonna speculate like, are they gonna team up? Because they're best friends since AAU. That's why I was saying like Devin Booker might team up with like D'Lo and Cat in Minnesota. So
right.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of up and coming stars. It remains to be seen. So we talk about Phoenix, Dallas, Clippers. Sadly, my Kings are not gonna do good anymore. Portland, Dame. Loyal to a fault, but
yeah, Dame's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, he needs a better management. I mean, GM like for like that team.
Yeah,
if they just have a couple, like 2 or 3 key players, they can go a lot further. But Dame by himself and fucking McCollum, that's not enough to get you.
Two-parter. Who do you like more, Zion or John Morant? Coming from last year, who do you like more to start your franchise with?
I'll go with Zion.
Zion?
Yeah. Zion has a lot to shoot. I think he needs to prove himself this season.
Yeah. Zion is ranked higher than a lot of veterans right now in ESPN.
I believe it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype around him. Yeah. Like when I see him play, it really is like, it reminds me of Barkley, but more athletic. Like he could dominate inside.
That's crazy to say more athletic than Charles. Charles was athletic.
I know, but for his he's a lot heavier than Barkley.
True.
He's a lot. He could jump. His leaping ability is amazing to me.
Yeah.
But he needs to develop more skills for sure.
He needs to be a playmaker.
Yeah, because he relied a lot of his athleticism to dominate. Now he needs to get smarter. He's still young, so he needs like 2 or 3 more years, but he'll get there.
Yeah.
And he needs to lose weight too.
Yeah, this generation, I think it's gonna be nice. There's gonna be a lot of stars.
Yeah.
But teams that are trash still, like Detroit, sadly, D Rose is gonna shine, but he's not gonna get any playoff contention. basically all the other teams in the East, we're not gonna give a fuck about.
Yeah, I mean Atlanta with Trae Young too.
Oh yeah, Trae Young's nice.
He's nice, but I don't know how far they're gonna get.
But yeah.
Anybody else?
But that's pretty much everyone.
Okay.
Major headlines going into the season. The great thing about NBA, everything changes like every week, every day, because of the branding, players' popularity, and I think it's the most popular sport other than football, and it's on its way to be the number one sport, pretty much behind football, though, like soccer.
Before we end this video, how do you feel about going back into games, NBA games?
Oh, okay. So the coronavirus thing. Joe Lacob from the Warriors was talking about like if they'll open up Chase Center to 50% capacity.
Because me and my dad debated about this a lot.
I like everything I've seen and know personally with like COVID-19. Like, nah, I don't think it's safe at all to let anyone in. It's just like there's a surge in the Bay Area. There's a surge all over other states. Like. It's too much to handle right now. So as much as it sucks financially, like you're only making the problem worse by attracting people in larger like events. So
how's the scheduling going to work for games now?
So it's only half. There's only half the games because the other half of the season hasn't been planned yet. Okay. And they're gonna have makeup games. So
no. I mean as far as playing games, like where they're going to play at. Is it going to be like the NFL where they play in one city or half the teams play in one city?
No, the NFL is playing at their own cities.
They're still doing that?
They've been doing that. They're doing that right now. Like with preseason, they're already going to their own NBA arenas.
Oh. So why did the Niners play at the...
Because Santa Clara's county issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Santa Clara, yeah. So it's just like, that's the only... San Francisco is the one suffering the most.
Nix that then.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think they should go... I don't think they should open it up. Financially, I know why, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the fact that they're flying from place to place all the time to play.
True.
Yeah, so I'm not really confident. There's going to be cases for sure, like as the season goes on. Even after the first
There's already cases in training.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they should have like semi-bubbles, like for each like Western Conference.
Yeah, just do like a, just stay on your side of the coast.
Yeah.
Or your division.
Yeah.
And somehow like just figure it out there.
Or fly out the teams.
Go straight to the arena. Don't go to a hotel.
Right. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because I think if I don't know if the vaccine is going to come like next month or the month after, but as soon as cases rise higher and higher, they're going to cancel the NBA again. So they have to be extra careful. Because if they're not going to do bubble this time, it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so that was our 2021 preview of the NBA. If you guys liked our content, please drop a comment, like our video, subscribe to our channel. We're looking forward to the NBA season. I don't know if we're going to cover it anymore after while the season's going on, but we're really excited. I mean, having NBA back to back like this is kind of overwhelming. Like I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. I pray a lot for the Warriors this season. That's going to be fun.
Hopefully COVID-19 gets managed better next year.
Yeah.
And it remains to be seen
who's
who's going to be crowned NBA champion.
Yeah.